Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to go over my final verdict on the Tooners DLC altogether. This is everything that I like about the DLC, everything I dislike about the DLC. But before we go any further, I want to know, what do you like about this DLC? And what do you don't like? Let me know down in those comments. But anyway, the first thing I'd have to say that I like would have to be the contract jobs. There are some that I do like, there's some that I don't like. Like, for example, one that I do like is the Union Depository one. I like the Union Depository contract. And I also like a bunch of others like the data contract, you know, just all sorts. But there are some that I don't like. For example, the ECU job. It was a pain in the butt. And yeah, that's all I... But not only that, the missions, they are... So the things that I do like also about these jobs is the fact that these jobs aren't necessarily hard, but they're not necessarily easy either. Like, they're kind of based around the middle area on the difficulty scale. Like, for example, if we were to take the Doomsday Sinestro and combine it with the Bogner problem, that's how difficult I'd say it would be. But anyway, enough about that. Let's move on to something a little more about the DLC itself. Something that's been added from day one from the DLC. And that is the LS car meet. There are some cool things about that car meet place. I like the fact that you can customize cars and all your friends and stuff can go see what you're doing to your cars. The fact that how creative people can be with their cars and all that cool stuff like that. So the next thing I want to go about is the test rides. Now, we don't really know much about the test rides. The test rides, we've only really seen them when they have like their DLC cars, and yeah, we don't really know what's going to happen in the future. Like, they could add cars that are not part of the DLC. Like, what if they added, like, for example, the Zantorno? We don't really know much about that, but hopefully they will do that to the cars on the test rides. That's something I want to see. But there is one bad thing about the test rides that I don't necessarily like, and that is the fact that they keep doing DLC cars from this particular update. If they change that, they could easily make it so they have, like, I don't know, say the Zantorno or the Adder or something like that. Like, basically cars that you can collect that are not part of the DLC. That's something I also want to see as well, but we haven't seen that in GTA Online yet. Now we go from test rides to the test track. So the test track has some cool features in it. Like, for example, you can do like a time trial to see how fast you could do the course inside there. Not too bad for like all the DLC cars. You can also do it for like the cars that are not part of the DLC, but that's still good. One thing I haven't tested yet, and maybe you guys could comment down below if this works, if you could do the test drive for the F1 cars. I don't even know if you could take the F1 cars in there. Okay, let's move on to the vehicles. The fact that the main part of the whole DLC, the fact that everyone likes their certain cars, but there are some certain cars in this DLC that I just don't necessarily like. Now, I've tried them out for a little while on the pursuit races and the street series races, and they're just awful. Most of those cars are just absolutely awful on the test track. Like, maybe it's just the modifications you put on the cars, but in my opinion, I reckon they're just terrible in general. Like, they can't take corners very well. They're pretty damn... Well, they're not slow, but they're definitely not the fastest vehicles in the game. I have seen like better vehicles to use than them, but that's not necessarily meaning that they're bad all around altogether. It's not like I'm saying that they're really, really bad. I'm saying they could be improved upon, maybe in the future of the updates. Now, I want to go over one thing, and this is to do with the actual test rides and the cars themselves. They have added some performance upgrades to the cars that haven't really made a difference. Like, for example, the low grip tires. They're not necessarily good, but it would be cool to have them on all cars in GTA 5 Online. That's something I kind of want to see with the expanded and enhanced. And I don't think that that's going to be possible, because sometimes, you know, you just get lazy, and I just don't think Rockstar would be bothered to do that. Added low grip tires, the lights the light things to the cars. That would be pretty cool in addition to all the cars in GTA 5 Online. That's something that only I could see happening. But there was one thing that I wish they added into this game, part of this DLC. I wish they added tinted windows. So like if you wanted to make the windows of your car like a different color, because if you look at them, if you get like the dark limo window, it doesn't necessarily look clean. It's mostly dirty, and I don't really like the fact that it's really, really dirty. But besides that, it still could use a change, the windows in the car. Like, I think they could definitely add, like, colored windows and stuff. Like, for example, yellow windows, green windows, magenta windows. I don't know. They could add all that kind of cool stuff in there. But that's just something I want to see. Also, another question. If you want to answer this, if you made it this far into the video, if you could add anything into GTA 5 Online, what would it be? What would you add to GTA 5 Online to maybe make the game come up from the dead? And yeah, that's another thing. I honestly think GTA 5 is dying, but that's kind of unrelated. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!